Welcome, brother. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to cultivate divine masculine energy, the masculine energy within you, which is the healthy version of masculinity. And the reason I'm making this video is it's something that I really feel called to share with the world because it's quite a journey that I've been on myself as well. Now, I by no means have all of this figured out. I'm on the journey just as much as you are, and I will be a student until the day I die. But I'm going to share the most relevant and potent information that I have gathered in hopes that it helps you just as much as it has helped me, because this is incredibly important. I know that you've likely watched, masculinity content, red pill content, and all these different creators who are giving you all of this information, how to get women, how to, be better on dates, how to get better in the gym, do all of these things that we want to cultivate within ourselves as men. And I get it. I've been through all of it myself as well. But what I've seen is that there's a dramatic shift that needs to happen and is actually in the process of evolving as we speak. So if you're into this type of thing and you've watched this type of content, but something is feeling off to you and you understand that there's probably more to the picture than you're being led to believe, this video is for you. There's a couple of things that is going to be really key to your development as a man to really cultivate that in a strong and positive and powerful way that's going to help you really become that version of yourself that you truly want to become. Because I know that there's a lack of role models out there. I know that there's a society that we live in that is really struggling when it comes to understanding what masculinity really is. And this is a journey I've been on personally myself as well, because I didn't grow up with a lot of masculine role models. I didn't grow up with a lot of guidance, and I really had to go and figure things out by myself. And really the big thing when it comes to the shift in masculinity is understanding that a lot of the creators out there, a lot of the content that's out there is not coming from a very healthy place when it comes to masculinity. It's coming from more of a wounded masculine place, which if you see the S beside this, it's coming from a shadow version of really truly what it means to be a powerful, strong man. So I want to share my thoughts with you in this video in the hopes that it really serves you to the highest level. And we're going to get into some cool stuff. So I'm excited to share this with you. So firstly, before we get into anything else, we have to understand what a wounded masculine is and what a divine masculine is. So let's just define both of those things. So wounded masculine energy really represents an unhealthy expression of what it means to have masculine energy. And it's really characterized by traits and qualities that stem from insecurity, that stem from fear, and really unhealed emotional wounds. And this can really lead to destructive behaviors and habits and patterns when it comes to relationships, when it comes to work, when it comes to business, and any expression of that in the world that we live in. And on the other hand, the divine masculine energy is really embodying the positive parts of what it means to express masculine energy into the world. It's really marked by strength, by leadership, by integrity, by virtue, living your mission, living your purpose. And it's heavily balanced with emotional intelligence and coming from a place of compassion. And instead of being destructive, it's more constructive, it's more purpose driven. The aim is to really create something in the world and to protect those around us. So we're going to be diving deeper into both of these things and how you can understand really what that means for you, which one that you're kind of leaning towards, so you can really get a good understanding as to where you currently stand when it comes to divine masculine energy and wounded masculine energy. And then we're going to go into how you can really integrate more of your divine masculine and also look at some reflection questions that are going to really help you in your journey to embodying that on a consistent basis. And in this video, we're not going to be diving deep into feminine energy. We're just going to focus on the masculine. We're going to talk about that in later videos, but we do have to understand that we have both of these energies within us. Now that may trigger you, because I know it definitely triggered me in the beginning to think that I have feminine qualities or I have feminine energy within me. The next thing we have to realize is that this has nothing to do with male or female. This is simply a type of energy. So it's not gender specific. Feminine energy is more of the creative side. It allows us to create things that we enjoy, to do things that we love to do, to listen to music, to spend time with friends, to have fun and all these things. That's all very feminine energy. The masculine energy is more of the decisiveness, the discipline, and the things that we want to do to be able to actualize our mission, our purpose in life. So that's the balance between those two things. But we're going to go deeper on that in later videos. But it's just very important for you to understand as a man that you have both of these energies, and they're both very healthy to have. And in our journey of self-mastery, it's really about filling up these two energies within ourselves to the highest possible capacity throughout our journey through life, and accessing 100% of the divine masculine energy and cultivating that within us, and then accessing 100% of the divine feminine energy within us, and really cultivating that within ourselves as well. But really what we want to do as men is to focus on cultivating one at a time and getting it to the highest possible capacity so that we can serve at a greater level. So likely if you're a man, you're going to want to cultivate the masculine energy within you, which really leads us to the society that we live in today. And unfortunately, this has really been the rise of the wounded man. So in society today, it's very clear that there's a lack of male role models in the world. And this is why people look up to people like Andrew Tate, and people are drawn to podcasts like Fresh and Fit and all of these things out there that are, helping men become more masculine. And all of these things are healthy to a degree. There's a lot of positive things that come from this type of content, but there's also a lot of energy that's coming from a wounded masculine that we need to be very, very aware of, because the lack of male role models in the world at large, I know this was definitely clear in my life as well. When we have that gap that we're trying to fill, we don't understand what healthy masculinity actually is, and we don't know how to define that. And when we don't know how to define that, it's very easy to be led astray by listening to different creators around these topics and really trying to find some element of certainty within ourselves so that we can know what to do as men and progress in our journey in the best way possible, because that's really what we're trying to do. Now, really what we're looking for is to cultivate the divine masculine energy within us, which is our light, which is the light within us, really bringing that to the surface in the most authentic way. But really where things get lost is that because there's a lack of divine masculine figures out there for us to follow, a lot of the time we're being led by the wounded masculine, which causes us to be led astray and in a direction that's not really congruent with who we truly want to be and our authentic selves. So we're going to break down what the two of those look like so you can know the difference and then start to cultivate more of your masculine energy based on everything that I've learned and want to share with you in the hopes that it serves you to the highest level. So the first thing that we have to understand when it comes to the wounded masculine is that it's going to be driven by fear and insecurity, like we mentioned. And what this really means is, taking action or making decisions or moving throughout your life coming from a place of needing to be validated by the external world, or needing to prove everybody wrong, or prove the bullies wrong, or prove your dad wrong, or all these different things. And that's where the insecurity and the fear comes in, because when you are starting to take action from this place, it may seem like, yeah, you are moving in the direction of achieving something, but you're doing it from an energy that is a wounded masculine. It means that there's a masculine energy within you that needs to be healed. And this is usually come from a relationship with your father and even a relationship with your mother as well, because this is where we pick up a lot of these energies from. So again, this is a healing journey. This is an emotional journey that we need to be able to manage. But a big thing to understand when it comes to anybody that you're listening to online is that what is really driving them? Are they coming from a place of insecurity? Are they coming from a place of ego and needing to get validated and really pushing a certain message in the hopes that you believe them and really becoming consumed with the validation that comes with that? Another thing that can come from this is, which is definitely something that I suffered from before as well, which is overworking. So overworking to the point where, you're just working for work's sake and you're just busy and doing stuff all the time because you are trying to get to a certain outcome. And instead of actually working from a healthy place, you're coming from a place of being afraid to fail, or you're afraid of what others might think of you if you fail. And you're trying to, again, prove somebody wrong. So this is just an important thing to think about when you're looking at your own drivers within yourself as well. So the next thing we're going to look at with all of this is emotions. So not being able to really manage emotions, and instead of expressing from a place of strength and compassion and vulnerability within yourself, this is instead going to come from a place of unhealed emotions. And this can also be expressed by displaying, unhealthy aggression or anger in the world. And if we look at some of these podcasts out there like Fresh and Fit, a lot of the vibe when it comes to what they're speaking about is coming from a very frustrated and angry place. If you look at the conversations that they have, the way they speak about these different things, it just, you can feel the anger in the room, and it's just kind of a strange boyish energy. And a lot of this comes from unhealed trauma or unintegrated emotions that have come from maybe childhood or things throughout your life that just have not been integrated within you. So therefore you express it in an angry and frustrated way in the hopes that it proves a point or validates you and your feelings in some way, shape, or form. Again, this is very tied to the shadow aspect of the divine masculine. So emotions are going to be a big factor in all of this, and really how they're expressed is going to really show you where this energy is really coming from. Is it a wounded masculine, or is it more of a divine energy where the emotions are more integrated? So another thing that's going to be tied heavily to this is not actually allowing yourself to be vulnerable, or not allowing yourself to fully express emotions that you're feeling, and instead suppressing them down and thinking that you're a pussy if you express emotions. So things like crying, things like showing weakness, or in general just being vulnerable, thinking those things are wrong or thinking those things are not manly is a very, very clear indication that there's a wounded masculine energy really coming from these different things. And trust me, man, I've been there. This is so common for so many guys, and it's why it's one of the core things that I focus on with every guy that I work with. And the scariest thing about not expressing emotions fully or allowing them to flow through you and integrating them is that it keeps you in a low state of consciousness. It keeps you in a survival paradigm, because all you're trying to do is keep these emotions pushed down. And the more that you do that, the more that they pop up in different ways. It's like, that game where you're trying to whack the mole, and it just, you hit it one place and it just pops up in another place. It's just like that continuously, because it will always be expressed in some way, shape, or form. You may try to shove it down in one way, but it'll just pop up in, something like self-sabotage. And this is where it can be a little bit tricky to identify where that's coming from. But this is the effect of being in that wounded masculine energy and not allowing emotions to fully flow through you. So the last element of this is connection. So not really allowing yourself to really connect with other men or connect with women in such a way where you're, again, allowing some sort of vulnerability within you, or expressing emotions, or really just cultivating a community around you. It's very, very common for guys to go into isolation, consistently going into a state of monk mode, thinking that just by them isolating themselves and, you know, pursuing their goals is them being virtuous. But a lot of the time, this type of energy is coming from the wounded masculine. And again, there's no judgment with any of these things, because I've been there, man. I've been in that state of talking to nobody, isolating myself, and only working on the things that I want to work on because I think that that's what I should be doing. Now, of course, this is healthy to a degree because it's good to, you know, be in your own space, become comfortable within yourself. But when that starts to go on far too long and you're losing connection with the outside world, you're losing connection to friends, you're losing connection to women, that's where it starts to really become a problem. And you got to start looking at, is this coming from a wounded masculine within me? And am I actually disassociating from society because there's something inside of me that is coming from this kind of wounded energy? And again, a lot of this comes from really bottling up emotions, not allowing that to flow through you, and not being comfortable with vulnerability, because under the surface of everything, if you're really self-isolating, there's likely something under the surface that needs to come up and be processed so that you can fully express who you truly are. So this is a really, really healthy thing to do, but it's just good to be mindful of these different things, because there's a time and a place to really go into monk mode and, you know, pursue your goals to a high level. But there's also a place where, you know, you genuinely have connections with people and you're enjoying life and you're not just isolating yourself in that way. So now let's dive into the divine masculine. So the first thing we're going to look at is leadership. So this is, first of all, self-leadership, and also the ability to lead other people in a very healthy way, and really coming from a place of confidence, clarity, and conviction within yourself that is, you know, being expressed in a healthy way, not from a place of ego, not from a place of insecurity and needing to control other people or needing to feel validated, but coming from a place of genuine confidence and certainty within yourself, because you have, you know, integrated these emotions that we've talked about. You are, you know, tapping into your authenticity and really what masculinity means to you. When you start to do that, you start to become more of a leader. You start to become more selfless, and you're there to serve others rather than trying to serve yourself and your ego, because there's some element of you that is unhealed or not integrated, right? So leadership is going to be the big thing that allows us to go and protect other people, to be of service to other people to the highest level. And this is where we can really start to cultivate more of this energy within ourselves. So overall, it's acting as a protector and a supporter to really uplift other people to become the best versions of themselves, no matter who it is, and really empowering other people in the process. So the next thing, again, is emotions. So allowing those emotions to flow through you in a very, very healthy way. Seeing vulnerability as a way to just truly express how you're feeling and truly be in your masculine, and being comfortable with that, allowing yourself to cry and not feeling shame around that, allowing yourself to feel certain things and not feeling shame around it, and seeing vulnerability and expression of those emotions as something that is very, very strong, and really something that you're actively trying to cultivate more of within yourself, really seeing vulnerability as a strength. So this really comes down to doing the inner work, you know, mastering your mind, mastering your emotions, and allowing those things to really be integrated into you so that you can fully open up your heart and actually love yourself and love another person in the process as well, because you can't really serve other people until you develop a deep love for yourself. And you can't really, you know, manifest the dream life that you want for yourself without fully loving yourself in the process as well. And this is a journey that we're all on. Again, there's no judgment here. It's just to be aware of these things and to understand that loving yourself and allowing those emotions to flow through you is going to be an integral part of, you know, this whole process. So the self-love that we're really trying to cultivate as men is actually processing these emotions, and it's understanding that it's actually, you know, manly to express these emotions in a very, very healthy way and come from a place of strength. Because when you start to cultivate that love within yourself, it's going to allow you to serve other people at a much higher level. It's going to be much easier for you to become purpose driven, because you're going to be more in the mindset of how can I serve other people rather than how can I serve my ego, which is the big difference between these two different things. So when you process your emotions, it allows you to become purpose driven. It allows you to build something incredible in this world and bring your creations to life from a strong, healthy place, from a higher level of consciousness, from a higher state of emotions, which is not only, you know, going to lead to a more successful life, but also it's going to lead you to be feeling better within yourself, which is going to project into the world. So managing your emotions is going to be very tied to you being able to live your true purpose in this life, because you will start to love yourself and therefore be able to love other people in the process as well. and really coming from a place of service. So the last one here again is connection. So you're actually openly connecting with other men and also women as well in the process, and really building community around yourself with high quality people. And really this is about having that healthy balance between, you know, being focused on yourself, going into those monk mode sessions where you do have that focus and priority on, you know, maybe it's personal growth, personal development, and really, you know, living your mission and really going all in on that, but also allowing that time then to spend time with friends, to cultivate more connections in your life, and integrating the two things into a workflow that really suits you and really what you're trying to accomplish, and balancing those things as much as possible. This is where collaboration is going to come in. Collaboration with other business owners, collaboration with other people in your network, and fostering really, really healthy relationships with these people, so you can again actualize this purpose with community and people around you, rather than trying to do everything by yourself and feeling like the world is on your shoulders, because that's not the case. It's simply a reality that you may have created for yourself, thinking that you need to do everything on your own. But if you really look at great companies, they're built on other people. They're built with a team, a community of people striving towards a big mission, and you can only do that from a place of divine masculinity, because you will be able to lead other people. You will be able to manage your emotions and communicate that to other people as well, so that you can be purpose driven and then connect with other people in the process to be able to actualize that much, much faster. So hopefully you can see the differences between the two there. They're very closely linked together, but again, like anything in life, there's a spectrum to everything. So it's really about what spectrum do you fall on? Are you coming from a place of insecurity? Or are you coming from a place of leadership? They're the same thing on a spectrum. So it's like, which one are you leaning more towards? Are you disassociating and suppressing emotions rather than integrating them and allowing them to flow through you and accepting the vulnerabilities within you as strength? Are you disconnecting from society and self-isolating in a way that is unhealthy? Or are you balancing the monk mode type activities with fostering connections and collaboration with other people to help actualize your mission and your purpose? So hopefully that brings a clear picture as to the differences between those two things. And if you're enjoying this video right now, consider subscribing and like this video so we can get it out to more people. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments as well. What's going through your mind right now? What kind of questions are you asking yourself, so that we can start to answer those questions and really get clear on how we can really start to cultivate more of the divine masculine energy within ourselves? So all of that being said, how do we really integrate this? Well, first of all, it comes with awareness. Everything in life starts with awareness. It's like the big domino that knocks everything that comes afterwards. So even just by going through this training, this video right now, you are now aware of the different sides of this, and we're going to be going deeper on this in different videos as well. So this is a way to just really highlight these things so you can see where you're currently at with this. So it starts with self-awareness, but then it goes into, well, really, what is the thing that is driving you? And if you're coming from a place of fear and insecurity, again, no judgment here, but it's understanding, where is that really stemming from? And that's where the self-awareness starts to knock the dominoes in the right direction as to you figuring out what that really means for you. Because from there, it will start to trigger different emotions. So how are you going to integrate those emotions into who you are so that they're coming from more of a healthy place, and you're integrating anything that needs to be integrated within you that's going to help aid you on your journey to becoming more of a divine masculine? And then when you combine that with connecting with the right people that are going to help you on your journey, this is going to be a profound experience that you have. So whether that's a coach or a mentor, someone to really hold that space for you to allow you to process your emotions, because this is something that I didn't have for a very long time in my life, because I didn't have that masculine role model around me. So I have now cultivated different tools and things in my life to be able to manage these things. And this is exactly what I do when I work with clients, because a lot of the time I'm just holding space for them to express themselves in such a way where they can make this transition. And that's when, you know, you start to see the results in business and content and everything that comes with that, because what you're doing is you're getting to the source. Okay, so whether that's finding a coach or a mentor or just having really great people around you, you have to be mindful of the people you're spending your time with, okay? If they're all coming from a wounded masculine and that's kind of the reality that you find yourself in, it's going to be difficult for you to really step out of that. There's been a couple of friends I've had in my life that have dropped off simply because I could pick up different energies that came from them. And even though I didn't really want to let them go at the time, I had to. But that allowed me the space to open up room for more of a divine masculine energy to be around me by getting in the right rooms with the right people, and then, you know, be able to have these conversations and be able to open up about these things so that we can express ourselves fully and really embark on this journey of divine masculinity from a place of strength and confidence, clarity and conviction. So to close this video, I want to share some reflection questions to you that you can think about. You'll be able to download these questions below this video, really ponder on them, and, you know, just see really where you're coming from with these different types of energy. So I'm going to read these out directly from my journal here. So the first question is, are you able to stand authentically in your truth and speak it regardless of what other people think, right? Or do you go with what others say simply because you're afraid of being an outsider? You're afraid to stand there alone right? That's a good question to ask yourself. The next thing then is, are you able to manage and express your emotions and be vulnerable comfortably without judging yourself or even judging other men for expressing their vulnerability around you as well? Because when you're judging other people, it's simply just a reflection of you judging the aspects of yourself that you haven't been able to accept. So this is a big question to ask yourself as well. The next one then is, are you deeply connected to your purpose, your mission, and your vision in life? And really, what does that mean for you? Do you feel like you're living on purpose? Do you feel like you're deeply connected to something that you're excited to work on? The next one is, are you giving help to other people who need assistance in life? This could be as simple as helping somebody who's in need on a day-to-day basis, or you're actually serving people to a higher level, whether that's in your business or your job or whatever that looks like for you. The next one then is, if you have a desire for a certain body type or a certain physique, are you working towards that? And are you working towards that as an expression of the highest version of yourself? Or are you doing simply to get validation from other people? This is going to be a good indication as to where is the energy, like where is that fuel for you? The next one is, are you able to hold space for women emotionally and spiritually from a place of strength without crumbling in the process? Are you able to really hold that space for them? The next one then is, can you love a woman from a place of strength, and can you have love for them without putting them on a pedestal? It's very tied to the next one, which is, can you open your heart to a woman and actually feel comfortable around being vulnerable with this person? The next one then is, do you truly love yourself authentically? Do you enjoy your own company? Can you sit there alone and spend time with yourself and love that, and love yourself and who you are and who you're becoming and everything that comes with that? It's going to be a very important part of all of this. The next one is, have you been able to beat addictions or coping mechanisms that maybe, draining your power or draining your energy? Have you been able to knock those things out of your life? Are you trustworthy? If someone told you something in confidence, are you able to keep that to yourself and really hold that? Or would you feel the need to go off and tell somebody and disrespect the fact that you were told this in confidence? Next one is, are you afraid of being disliked? Again, very tied to be able to speak your truth. Are you afraid of being disliked by other people? In a world that's driven by social media, this can be a big one. Because when we put ourselves out there authentically, we open ourselves up to judgment. We open ourselves up to being disliked by other people. And again, this has been a journey for me as well. Posting content online allows you to be judged by other people. Not everybody's going to agree with your vision. Not everybody's going to agree with what you say. And that's totally fine. It's just accepting that and understanding that everybody's on their own journey. The next one then is, can you lead other people? And can you actually protect them in the process as well? Are you disciplined? Are you focused on the things that you're working on? The next one is, do you have peace within yourself? Do you take full responsibility for your results and the life that you've created for yourself at this current moment in time? Do you take full ownership over that? Or are you blaming somebody else for your results? The last one here is, are you able to see the world clearly and cut through the bullshit of what society thinks you should be, what people tell you masculinity is? Are you staying true to what you believe and who you truly are? Can you see the world clearly? Do you understand that? Do you understand the reality around you? This is a big one, because this is going to dictate how you think about everything. So there's some thoughts I wanted to share with you. There's some questions to reflect on. You can find a document down below. You don't have to opt in or anything like that, but you'll be able to get those questions below, be able to look at them, ponder them, write out some things about them. I would recommend to do some journaling on them and really just reflect on those couple of things. There's so many questions you can ask yourself to really dive deeper into these different things. And thankfully, some of the most amazing questions have come from mentors of mine as well when it comes to these things specifically. So I'm very grateful to be able to share them with you here as well. So all that being said, if you want to learn more about the rise of the conscious man, I have a video that goes deeper on it, and you can check that out right here. If you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to enjoy this one as well, because we talk about things from a different perspective. And I really truly believe that there is more of a rise of a conscious man, a more divine masculine. And there's so much space for us to really embody this and really go on this journey together to really shape the way masculinity is in the future. So overall, thank you for being here, brother. I hope this video was valuable to you, and I'll see you in the next one.